now in that theme of trying to enhance the customer experience and trying to reach closer to the customers without physically going to them, I would like to kind of invite Sauvik now, because Sauvik, you have got a huge amount of experience both in the B2B and the B2C space, and in terms of the wide diversity of products and services which you take to your customers. You've already been a pioneer in terms of taking it digitally. And if you would like to kind of share your thoughts and probably expand a theme on this theme of virtualization in terms of getting closer to customers, and any other point that will probably give more substance to this current theme of how AI is helping organizations in today's times. So over to you, Sauvik.
Thank you, Sridhar. Morning. Let me just break down. It's a very different way to start this. See, my observation, my background is all 20 years of NLP and device learning. I have seen AI grow in the last 21 years in very many different ways. Earlier, we have faced this when the recession hit, when we were all, and how AI evolved then. Prior to that, in the early 80s and 90s, when neural networks was limited to only physical robotics, and specifically in the auto industry, they have pivoted when required by other industries. Again, we are hit today after 10, 12 years after the recession, where there's a global impact. There are two things which I'm observing. One is, let's just break a basic observation of what AI is. Artificial intelligence has been there for 60+ years. We were always using artificial intelligence in a device learning capability, in a decision tree. So I ask a simple question. I want the result, and I am able to do it through the methodology of decision tree and results, which is a semantic network. Over a period of time, when neural network kicked in, a neural network is nothing but the ability to predict, project, and recommend capabilities. So there are two. AI still exists in two forms. Can I do personalization to a customer without learning the data set, learning capabilities in predictive models, learning abilities in projective models? Answer is yes. How many people are doing it? Probably 50% of the world is doing it. What is the other 50% of the world doing in a consumer space to reach the customer? Say, what has done a global pandemic when we are all closed grouped and access to customers not physically present? The mining and the modeling of a customer attribution has increased. Example, if I am a customer of Chroma, I have got about 30 attributes of mine. I've got my base core attributes, my name, address, my details, my age, XYZ. I add my profile with Titan. 30 more attributes happen. I add my profile of Tata Sky, and I add my profile of Tata AIG and Tata AIA. My attribute happen. So a customer, so example, Sauvik, who was known to have only 20 attributes and characteristics, suddenly I have 380. So I have a giga profile. What happens when you have a giga profile? What happens when you have a giga profile is my affinity data models, my payment data models, my behavioral data models, my online intent models, my browse capability online or on my device is very different to what my browse capability of a 10-year-old son of mine or my parents. Very different. You add affinity models to that. When I say affinity model, my wallet share. How much is my spend pattern? Do I spend in the pin codes around 40053, or do I also spend my money around pin codes of 40001? Those start to come in. Now you have these rich 380 attributes. Your affinity models are starting to come in. Example, my category affinity. Do I like headphones? And do I like a soya chai tea latte from Starbucks? Or do I only watch HBO and Tata's, or only European Premier League? These are affinity models. When you have a customer attribution, an affinity model, when you marry them, you have a n equal to 1 personalization. At that time, it's not a cold start personalized experience and talking to a customer anymore. It's a n equal to 1. That means out of millions of customers, I am able to connect to Anand or Sudipto or Naveen or Sauvik, everyone one to one, or Deepak, one to one level, n equal to 1. N equal to 1 personalization, if I keep it in layman's terms, if I know only 20 things about a human being and I know 380 things about a human being, is very different. Uh, that is what has pivoted in the global pandemic. And I think biggest of the tech companies, biggest of the conglomerates are getting, because the human being is not there anymore in the store or in the lounges or in the airports, but I know the ability of that human being. So that is where I think we are pivoting, and I think it's a healthy thing. That is the biggest impact what I'm seeing in a consumer facing parlance where AI is pivoting. Personalization always was there. But attribution of that personalization, people have just made an effort to pivot to that space.
No, wonderful. Very well articulated, Shovik, I must say. And it's very, very interesting because we are truly talking about a segment of one.